guys? We got 7 games on the NBA slate today. Sharp Bros coming at you live. And we're going to start with the Boston and Raptors, Toronto Raptors. So you can see Boston is ranked second in the standings, and you have Toronto all the way down with the Hornets and the Wizards, the worst in the league. So this game, Vegas has a projected minus 11 for Boston, of course. Seems like blowout heavy. So we're going to go through each game and break it down. And the first game, right here, we have Boston-Toronto. So you can see right here, right, we have Jrue Holiday out. We have Luke Cornett out. And as far as what we have down here, Al Horford's questionable for the time being. And we're recording this video early in the morning, so a lot of news isn't out yet. They come closer to lock time. That's why you should come lock in with the Sharp Bros Discord. We put out plays all day. We have a channel where all the news comes out throughout the day. Great community, so come check that out. Link will be underneath. But let's get back into it. Luke Cornett, he's questionable. Luke Cornett's out. Al Horford is questionable. And this is a lot of minutes right here. You can see last game he played 25, 18, 34. So he's getting a good amount of minutes, right? So now you kind of got to think, where is that minutes going to go? Well, if Al Horford was out, then those minutes would go to Luke Cornett, right? But Luke Cornett's also out. So I think it's going to be a mix of someone like, we're going to switch over to Roto Grinders on here. Someone like Peyton Pritchard is going to get more minutes. Sam Hauser is going to get more minutes, right? I think they're going to go smaller here. Against the Raptors, I see Jacob Portal. I might be butchering that name, but he's also questionable. So if he is out and Al Horford's out as well, both of these teams are going to plan to go smaller with Peyton Pritchard for Boston and someone like Ochi, or maybe they might bring in Orlando Robinson, who just got traded over to Toronto. But overall, this game seems like a blowout, and Al Horford is the big news, and kind of to run off on that, I would go with either Peyton Pritchard or Sam Hauser. They're going to get a lot more minutes. Sam Hauser is a three-point assassin, and Peyton Pritchard, he would run that second unit with one of Tatum or Brown sitting. And Jrue Holiday is also out, right? So that's kind of what we have for this game as a whole. It looks like a disgusting game, honestly. Like, you could see this game blowing out in the third quarter and all the starters sitting. So that's kind of where I have it for this game. Not really that interested. Peyton Pritchard is one of the big news I would look at with Al Horford. If Al Horford is out, I want some shares of Peyton Pritchard. So let's move on to Cleveland and Orlando. We have the number 1 team, Cleveland Cavaliers, against the 7th seed in Orlando. Excuse me. You have Darius Garland questionable for this game. Now, we're talking about Darius Garland, who is the second option on this Cavs team. He has usages at 26.9, right behind Donovan Mitchell. He missed last game against Memphis. So if he misses this game as well, currently he is questionable. I think it's going to be more of Mitchell, Max Strus, more of the guards coming in. I think DeAndre Hunter is going to get a lot more minutes. Someone like Ty Jerome could get his fair share off the bench. He's very sneaky, high upside, great scorer, but the minutes are going to be higher with Darius Garland sitting. So I like whoever the 6th man is. And the reasoning behind this is whoever is the first guy to come off the bench, he has the whole second unit that he can run by himself, right? So if someone like DeAndre Hunter starts, then you can see it will be Mitchell point guard, Strus, and everyone follows. Hunter, and then everyone follows, right? So when you have the starters on the court, Donovan is going to take most of the shots, followed by Mobley, Jared Allen, Max Strus, right? So there's going to be less for the guy that kind of steps into Darius Garland's spot. So I'd rather have someone like Ty Jerome, who's going to run the unit by himself, the second unit, when Mitchell and Mobley and the rest of the stars sit, right? So that's going to increase shots, increase his usage off the bench, and he's going to be doing his own thing. He will be like the Mitchell off the bench, if that makes sense. But Orlando is a great defensive team. Of course, as you can see, they're without Jalen Suggs today. Jalen Suggs has been playing really well, but he's been out for the past, 20, 25 games, except for one against Detroit that he did play. So nothing new news here. I would look at guys like Donovan as he's going to get more usage with if Darius Garland does happen to sit out. Looks like a very, very defensive approach matchup. Cavs have an amazing defense. Orlando also has amazing defense. So I would kind of, injury-wise, I would look for Darius Garland, see if he sits, and look at someone like Ty Jerome when everyone else is going to be going DeAndre Hunter because he's going to be on the starting lineup, right? So that's sneaky ways to get there. And if you do daily fantasy sports, that's a great way to do that. I've done a good share of daily fantasy sports. Now kind of transition more to a FanDuel Sportsbook and sports betting. So that is something to keep an eye on. I will definitely have Ty Jerome over on the points if Darius Garland does sit. As far as Orlando, the total is very low. It looks like it is the lowest total of the... Oh, okay. Well, we got Hornets and Warriors at the lowest, but the second lowest total of the day. Orlando's side, I mean, you can look at someone like Paolo Banchero. He's just... It's tough with Mobley on the other side, right? I wouldn't feel good going against this matchup, and you have Jared Allen inside who's just going to sit there and get blocks all day long like it's nothing. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and just skip this game after just looking at Darius Garland and maybe someone like Franz Wagner, whose shots have been very high, as you can see right here. Field goal attempts are solid. Assist looks okay. He's getting the rebound. So someone like Franz could be a good play. All right, let's move on to Phoenix and Memphis. I really like this game, and the main reason I'm going to tell you why is let's highlight right here on RotoWire, where they have total points. Vegas is projecting this game to be somewhere around 245.5 points. That is the highest for the day. It is the highest for the slate, yeah. So this looks solid. You also have Spurs and Pelicans at 240.5. But sticking with this game, injury-wise, there really isn't nothing. I mean, someone like Monte Morris is not really playing that much minutes, so it doesn't really matter. And you also have Cody Martin, who has been out for a while, but it's the same thing, right? If you have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, like, there's not going to be that much minutes for other guys. So this seems like both teams are pretty healthy. I think, that's all we have for this game because I want to talk about a play I have for this game at the end. But as far as right now, I think we're just going to move on to the next games as there is no injuries for this one. And for this video, just to recap, we're going to be looking only at injuries for the day. We will give one play of the day at the end of the video. But other than that, everything else is going to be on the Discord. Come join us. Link is in the description below. All right, let's move on. So we have San Antonio Spurs and Pelicans. Another game, there's not really that much news. Bassie and Brandon Boston. I mean, both of these guys are not really getting that much minutes. Of course, Victor Wembanyama is out for the season. That is a big news. But it seems like not much has changed. Like, yeah, Biyombo is starting, but last game he got 30 minutes. The other two games he started, he got 12 and 16 minutes. Like, so you can't really go there. Doesn't seem like, it seems a little iffy on how the minutes are gonna go there. But for San Antonio with Victor Wembanyama out, you have guys like Jeremy Sohan off the bench getting more minutes. Keldon Johnson, who I really like, you can see his bump in usage as Wemby has been out, right? 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 23 minutes. Shots are there. Shots are a lot higher. So someone like Keldon Johnson, I mean, over 15, maybe even over 20 points, I really like. And if you're playing daily fantasy sports, I would get some shares of Keldon Johnson. He's 5,000 on DraftKings, so that is someone I really like for today. Other than that, I mean, injury-wise, that's really who it's going to benefit. Everyone else, Chris Paul, Fox, Vassell, Barnes, they're all starters, so much doesn't change there. Yeah, they get higher usage, they get more shots because Wemby was chucking threes left and right, and he was taking all the shots. So defense definitely goes down for the Spurs, but there's going to be more guys on the offense getting more shots, like a De'Aaron Fox, like a Vassell. But the guy that I'm really looking at is Keldon Johnson off the bench. As far as the Pelicans, I mean, you have Zion back in the game. They're doing different looks with Kelly Olynyk at the starting lineup. he's getting minutes, but the shots aren't that high for me to be confident there. Bruce Brown off the bench, your minutes are there, shots are low. It just seems like this is very top heavy, meaning guys like CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, and Zion Williamson is kind of taking the large bulk of the usage. I mean, in like 27 minutes, it looks like he's limited. He's not playing over 27 minutes. You got 28 right here, but kind of in that range, right? He's chucking the ball a lot. I mean, 17, 15, 18, 11, 21 shots. That is a lot in the short amount of minutes. Guys like Trey Murphy, a lot of minutes, great shooter, getting a lot of shots up. His threes is something I would look at. That looks pretty solid. CJ also another really good three-point shooter. Minutes are high. So I think they benefit a lot more when Zion's sitting, and it seems like there's 10 minutes that Zion extra that he could be playing that he's not. More because of conditioning, weight, and all that stuff that's been going on with Zion, the same news. So that's kind of what I have there, and we'll end it for that game. Let's go on to this Milwaukee and Houston game. This game looks really good today. Two amazing teams. We got number 4 Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference going against number 5 Houston Rockets, who've been surprising everyone this year. A few things to note. Bobby Portis is out. I would look at guys like Giannis and Kuzma getting more minutes, because Bobby Portis is kind of that power forward, small forward type of guy. Mostly power forward, of course. But guys like, Gary Trent might be getting more minutes off the bench, but I think it's going to kind of stay top heavy. Like Brook Lopez, you can see his uptick in minutes lately. So he's going to get more minutes, kind of taking a little bit, taking some of that Bobby Portis minutes there as well. On the other side, Fred VanVleet is someone to note. He's been out for the past 10 games, but now he's questionable for today. So if VanVleet comes back and plays, that's going to take a lot off of guys on top like Jalen Green, just the whole starting lineup, right? Because one thing people don't realize when they look at the past 5 games or past 10 games is they don't look at who's injured, who wasn't playing that game. So if Fred VanVleet does end up playing today, that's going to lower the usage of everyone else in the starting lineup that have been doing really well for the past 10 games, right? You look at someone like Dylan Brooks, he's questionable. I mean, this is the starter, guards the best player on the other team every single time. So Dylan Brooks, if Dylan Brooks sits, I'm looking at guys like Jabari Smith, who just came back from injury. Still seems a little iffy on the shots and minutes, but seems like coach is just letting him go out there and get the minutes. So Jabari Smith is also a good play if Dylan Brooks just does sit out. Tari Eason would be another guy I'm looking at. More minutes off the bench. Shots are there. Great rebounder. So that is another guy I'll be looking at there if Dylan Brooks happens to sit. All right, let's move on to the later half of the day. We're looking at the 10 p.m. Eastern time games, both in California, actually, West Coast. We have Hornets and Warriors. I'm laughing because I'm looking at this Vegas spread on the Warriors, and it's -17 against the second worst team in probably all of NBA this year. Hornets, I mean, there's no rhythm. There's nothing there. I don't even know if I want to go anyone in this game because some guys are questionable. Yeah, if Mark Williams does happen to sit, I am looking at guys like someone like maybe Nurkic comes in, I mean, getting more minutes, great rebounder, right? Maybe look at rebounds for Nurkic. But overall, I mean, this game just seems like a huge blowout. You got Seth Curry versus Stephen Curry tonight. But it just seems like something I'm not interested in. The spread is too high. It seems like the Warriors players starters would probably play the first half and then just sit the second half. It seems like that type of game. Warriors have been clicking on all cylinders with Jimmy Butler in the lineup now, and they've been doing really well out there. Draymond Green, Stephen Curry. So I think for this game, I'm kind of just gonna move on and say if Mark Williams sits, I'll like someone like Nurkic. But other than that, I don't really like anyone else here. All right, so we have the last match of the day, and after this, we will go straight into one free play of the day, someone I really like for the slate. We have Dallas Mavericks versus Los Angeles Lakers. Wow, this has been on everyone's calendar for a long time. I know it's definitely on this guy's calendar. Luka Doncic playing against his former team, who traded him. So this will be a good matchup to watch. Certain news on this game, you have on the Dallas side. I mean, Anthony Davis is not playing, Gafford's not playing, Lively's not playing, Powell's not playing. 4 centers out, and now on top of that, PJ Washington, power forward, is also questionable. I mean, this is insane. They have no big man that are playing on Dallas. So I think what Dallas is going to do is go smaller, and I think Lakers are kind of going to follow that same. Okay, well, you guys are going smaller, so we're going to go smaller as well. So I think it's going to be more of LeBron playing the 5 at center. I mean, Jackson Hayes is going to start, obviously, but even you can see Jackson Hayes' games, he's getting like 25, 28, 18, 7. Like these minutes are not, he's not getting over 30 minutes, right? It's all below that. So you're going to have some looks where LeBron is going to be at the 5, Dorian Finney-Smith's going to be at the 5, and now there's a lot of revenge in this game as well. One guy I really like is Max Christie going against his former team. A lot of centers are out. If PJ Washington's out as well, I love this play even more. But despite PJ Washington being out, Max Christie has been performing at a high level offensively. So I really like him today. I would take his points maybe somewhere like 15 to 20, right? Like 20 might be the higher end. 15 should be safer. But you got revenge for Max Christie, and he's been absolutely balling for Dallas. So I like the play there. Other guys kind of looking at someone like, of course, Kyrie, but we're focusing more on injury, so I'll leave that out of it there. LeBron looks like he has a great matchup with really, like, I don't think PJ Washington is gonna really stand in front of LeBron. It'll be an easy matchup for him there. But of course, this game is going to be unlike any other, as Luka is going against his former team, right? And I think the shots is going to be very, very high here for Luka. I think he could take 30 to 35 shots, honestly. Luka's really trying to, Luka plays on that with that chip on the shoulder, and this trade from Dallas really made him even more angry. And what better time to release all that frustration than against your former team. So I really do like Luka for the day as well. Max Christie on the other side, kind of revenge narrative. Really like this game as a whole. Lakers side injury, just Kleba, who was also former Dallas Maverick. He's out, and he hasn't even played a game this year for Lakers. So that's kind of it on the injury side. We're going to have a lot more plays on the Discord, guys. Just know we're going to be attacking this Phoenix game, this Dallas game, and we'll have some other looks. That's going to be it for the slate. Now, for the main part of the show, we got the play of the day. And for today's play of the day, we are going to go with Ja Morant over 23.5 points. On FanDuel, he's minus 100, so this is perfect play. I really like Ja Morant's matchup here. Phoenix does awful against guards, so this will be solid. I think Royce O'Neal will kind of be in front of Ja, and I think Ja is going to absolutely destroy him. So I really like him over 23. I think Ja could get up to 30 points. He has been performing pretty well, so that's the guy that we're going to go with today, guys. Lock that play in, and I'll catch you on the next one.